Erica writes, I'm not progressing the way I want to. Sure, I'm losing weight, but I want to lose more weight, damn it. What is up, people? Jean Carlos here with the Total Body Training Podcast, where I help you get lean, gain muscle, and build confidence. And today's topic is losing perspective. This is based on a conversation I had with my client Erica, who has in reality been kicking so much ass with her weight training, and now she's trying to cut weight, so she's been kicking ass in that area too. However, along the way, sometimes it's easy to lose perspective, and this is what I found was happening with Erica recently at one of our weight loss groups. And we sat down and we discussed this, and the tips that I gave her seem to have helped her out, and hopefully it'll help you out along your fitness journey if you're going at this alone. So let's go ahead and get into the meat of this conversation. What I recommend is that if you're on any kind of plan, you start off by considering the following. Have you lost perspective? What is it that you're supposed to be doing with your goal? What are you supposed to be achieving, and what is that actually supposed to look like? So tip number one is review the facts. How much weight are you supposed to lose week to week on the plan that you're on? If you have a solid plan, or you have a solid nutritionist or anything like that, there's going to be a set amount that you should roughly be losing weekly. In the case of Erica, her plan suggests that she should be losing about 1 pound to 2 pounds a week, which she has been losing. She's been losing roughly a pound a week. Now, if you're meeting the requirements of your diet, then what is the problem? What is going on with you that you're feeling a little bit like you're behind? And that was what stuck out to me, because for her, she was on perfectly doing well with her nutrition and with her weight loss. Why do you feel like you should be losing more weight, is what I asked Erica. And in Erica's case, she mentioned that other people were losing 1.5 pounds weekly, and she wanted that. So tip number 2, compare yourself against yourself. What do I mean by that? Your progress is your progress. Everybody's body is different. If you're meeting the requirements of the plan that you are on, if you're having success, why get upset, or why want more, or why want something that someone else has if your body isn't giving it to you? It's just a really unhealthy way to think about your weight loss and to consider your body. It's not a productive conversation to have with yourself, and it's just going to lead to you self-sabotaging. Now, not only that, but you might see that someone else is losing a little bit more weight than you on a given plan, or someone else is seeing more progress, but you're not taking into account a lot of factors. So maybe a person is losing a little bit extra. They're losing a 0.5, or maybe they're losing a full 2 pounds instead of just 1 pound on your plan. Well, what you don't know is that a month from now, if the person is still dieting, right? Sometimes doing a solid nutrition plan takes time. It's not like we're doing crash dieting here. So that person might, in 1 or 2 months, not be losing 2 pounds a week. They might be losing less, and they might be losing less than you. So who's to say that you won't be losing more, right? That you won't be losing more in the future, and that this person just had kind of like a beginner's luck with their weight loss, that they had what seems to be an advantage. Another thing to consider too is that you don't know, when you compare yourself to other people, you don't really know what's actually going on with that person. So let's say that there are 2 people who are given an equal nutrition plan, and both of them are following it, but one person isn't really following it. So they're cutting more macros out of their nutrition than they should be. They're eating less food. That isn't a good idea, because that might come around to bite that person in the ass later on, when they might hit a wall or might plateau because they cut their calories too quickly. So Erica and anybody who's losing weight right now are trying to do the same thing. Just be careful in comparing yourself to other people, because you don't really know if they're following a plan correctly. Like, sure, they might be seeing results and they might be seeing progress, but in terms of like the long approach to this, in terms of the bigger picture, they might end up losing in the long run, or not staying on track with it because they did some things they shouldn't have, or that weren't optimal for their body, so that they could get ahead quicker. So my recommendation is that you compare yourself against yourself. Have you met the requirements of your nutrition plan? Did you lose the amount of weight that you were supposed to lose this week? If so, awesome. Pat yourself on the back. Be proud of the fact that you are on track with your nutrition plans. It's really that simple. It's important for you to cherish the fact that you're doing that. Now, is there anything else that is swaying you? Is there anything else that's making you feel bad? Person who's trying to lose weight. And, for Erica, there was. I had a sinking suspicion. And so the next thing that she told me was that she had some coworker who was kind of giving her shit. So it was a coworker who was commenting on her weight and saying, I don't feel like, you're changing at all, or you're not losing weight as quickly as you should. And that falls into the category of unsolicited advice. If you're on track and everything's going well, some people on the outside aren't going to understand that. And they might chime in and comment for various reasons. And they just don't fucking know. They don't know what's going on there. So for them to just kind of jump in and start giving you advice about your weight loss when you are actually on track, when you're actually hitting your goals and stuff like that, is just really kind of rude. And it would be better if they actually asked you, how is it working for you? How do you feel? If you are out there and you have some kind of curiosity about somebody else's plan and you don't understand, don't just barge in with your opinion. Ask the person how they feel. So my tip to Erica is that something that we constantly say in our weight loss groups, and it's part of the TBT rules for success, is just a quote. It says, "I don't seek the approval of people who don't understand my plan or my goals." Not everybody's going to understand you, Erica. Not everybody's going to understand why you've chosen the route that you're going, and they don't have to understand that. Right? So, while it would be nice for everyone to kind of be on track with us, and while ideally we want people that positively reinforce us, we need to realize that not everybody's going to get it, and we're going to have to ignore a lot of people, or at the very least, just kind of, just at the very least, just ignore them, just plain and simple. Because if you let other people dictate what you're doing, other people who don't understand your plan, then you're going to be at the whim of everyone else's opinion. And unfortunately in life, a lot of people have a lot of opinions, and they give them in an unsolicited and rude way frequently. Now, they might not perceive it that way. I don't think that everyone's always intentionally trying to put people down or whatever. What I do think, though, is that what is simultaneously true is that people like to talk and they like to express themselves, and they're not always as considerate of other people's feelings as they should be. And so, this person, you kind of went on to tell me that this person is out of shape. This person isn't any kind of expert, anything like that. So, why even take this person's opinion seriously? If you are seeing results, if you're seeing progress and you're proud of them like you were just 2 or 3 weeks ago, then just ignore it. Take it like a grain of salt and don't feed into it. And just tell the person, hey, I'm good. I'm on track to hitting my goals, and I'm happy this way. And don't make it a big conversation piece. Y'all don't need to have a little powwow about the safety of weight loss and crash dieting and, ketogenic diet versus vegan diet or whatever. You don't need to have any of that. Just say I'm pretty good right now doing my goals. I'm hitting them, and I'm happy this way. And just leave it at that. So you stand up for yourself and don't talk about it too much. You know what you want, and not everybody needs to understand exactly what you're doing or why you're doing it. It's a-okay. So, people, I hope that those tips help you. I hope that you understand that the further you get along with achieving a goal or fitness plan, the further you get away from the starting point. The further you start to kind of lose perspective about why you're doing it, and doubt kind of starts to set in. So you encounter people in your life who ask you questions about what you're doing and chime in opinions, or you have your own doubts. So the part of you that maybe used to drop off with doing plans, or the part of you that is feeling down one day might show up and might whisper this little idea into your head that things aren't working out when the facts tell you the absolute opposite. So I recommend as well that you try to be as objective as possible when you start to feel that way. And in Erica's situation, going back to tip number 3, how I mentioned that you need to kind of ignore the people who don't support you. Focus on the people who do. there are probably in your life, or I would hope there are people in your life who actually do support your goals, right? There are people in your life who are giving you comments. In Erica's case, there are people who are saying that she's losing weight, that they're proud of her, her family is all on board. It's so easy for us to focus on the people who, or that one person who says that one ugly negative comment versus all the other people who are on board and there to support you. Focus on the positive instead of the negative and keep the real perspective. Try to be objective about where you're going and where you're headed, and you'll be much happier and you'll stay on track with your fitness goals. All right, people, until next time, peace.